Thank you, Commissioner, and good evening, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining today. So I'm happy to be here to talk about this updated guidance. I want to say that both RIDE, obviously, and the Department of Health are committed to doing absolutely everything we can to keep our kids safe. And as I've mentioned before on some of these calls, I have a 10 and a 14-year-old, and so I'm personally committed to keeping our schools safe and in person, as the Commissioner mentioned, which is critically important. And to this point, as many of you know, in late December, a week and a half ago, the CDC did update their quarantine and isolation guidance for the general public and healthcare workers. And so what we're talking about today and what we released today were these updated CDC guidance to the public school systems, K through 12 here in Rhode Island. And the main point, which the Commissioner mentioned, is the shorter time for isolation for individuals who are asymptomatic and who have symptoms that have been improving and they've been fever-free for 24 hours. So that's important for asymptomatic. And I will add that the evidence, the data, what we know about this is still evolving over time. And so we are taking the CDC's recommendations. Again, they're a group of experts nationally with the best interest of the public in mind. So we are following the recommendations and do believe this is the right thing to keep school in person. For days 5 through 10, as the Commissioner mentioned, students and staff still need to be super vigilant about wearing a mask, a well-fitting mask, and washing their hands. This guidance is set to be effective January 10th. And one point I also want to emphasize, and something that we've been seeing in the school setting and other settings, is that there's a number of kids who have COVID with symptoms who go to school. So I just want to again encourage parents, students, if you're listening, if you have any symptoms, no matter how mild, please do get a COVID test and stay home while you have symptoms until the COVID test is back before you go to school, no matter how mild your symptoms are. And I want to reassure everyone that we continue with RIDE. We're continue to look at the data, to analyze the data. I've been reassured as a parent that there's a very, very small amount of COVID transmission that happens in school. The majority is from the community, but within schools, within the well-structured seating arrangements and just the structure in general of the K through 12 system, I am completely reassured as a parent myself that schools are safe, and certainly the importance of in-school transmission, of in-school learning is obviously important. Again, our priority remains to keep students learning in school safely.